Hey everyone, it's Paige back with another video. In today's video, I want to do something a little bit different. It's not a haul, it's not an outfit of the day, but I want to talk about career. I graduated from Hampton University in May 2014 and I began my career shortly after. So I've been at my first real career job for almost a year and a half now. So I want to talk about feeling confident and killing it at your first career job. I feel like this is such an important topic and I'm really excited to talk about it now because I have been able to experience this and grow in the time that I've been at my job. And I'm going to break this down with 3 quick and easy tips. Number 1, my first piece of advice is to remember that you were chosen to be there for a reason. As I've stated in, I believe it was my 2015 memories video, I went through a rough time trying to look for a job. It did not come easy. I applied for hours and hours a day, and when I finally saw the job posting for the job that I'm at, I saw that you needed 2 to 3 years experience to get the job. But I knew that I could do everything that was stated on that job posting, and I just applied anyway, and I got it. But understandably, when I first got there, it was a little bit intimidating. I was the youngest person in the room. Everyone had much more experience in marketing than I did. And honestly, sometimes when we were in meetings, I felt like I had nothing to contribute to the conversation. I just didn't know what to say sometimes because I wasn't knowledgeable in the subject. And I ended up reading a very helpful article one day, and it just made me feel so much better. But to sum it all up, the person who wrote the article said, okay, you may not be the most experienced or the most knowledgeable person in the room, but you are in that damn room just like everyone else. And from that point on, I'm like, you know what? They're right. I got chosen in this position for a reason. And ever since then, I have been assured in different ways that I am supposed to be there. And I work hard, I do my job, and I believe I do it well. And at the beginning, it's gonna be hard, but you have to keep reminding yourself, you went through an interview process, there were other candidates against you, and they chose you. Number 2, this is something that I had to learn all through school, and it's definitely something that is just as important when you're in your career. It's to use your voice early. Don't sit in those meetings and, crouch down and never say a word. The longer you do that, it's going to be harder and harder for you to actually speak up one day when you have something to say. When I was in school, I would be so nervous, to say the wrong thing, and I didn't want to raise my hand. I had so much anxiety about speaking up in front of the class. Before you know it, the whole semester's over and you haven't said a word and your teacher doesn't know who you are. It's the same way in your career. You can't sit in the meetings and say nothing and expect people to think that you're doing a good job or that you're interested in what you're doing. The less and less that you contribute, the more people are going to think that you're uninterested or that you're not knowledgeable or qualified to be doing what you're doing. As I was getting settled in before we had meetings, I would make sure I studied what we were about to be talking about, and I made sure that I at least had 1 or 2 things to contribute to the conversation, no matter what. Whether it was something that I wanted to point out or was an idea or even a question. Just make sure that you say something and that you use your voice so people know that you are in that room and that you are present. The more and more you speak up, the more confident that you'll feel. I promise. Number 3, it takes time. As simple as that. I probably didn't feel extremely comfortable until almost 6 months after I had been at my first job. It took time. It took me being in meetings. It took me sharing my ideas and getting good feedback and getting critiques, and it takes time to really become comfortable. New environments can be scary. New situations can be scary. This is a big deal. Your first job out of college, you just want to do well. You want to succeed. You want everyone to be pleased with you. And it can definitely be a lot of pressure and it can be very overwhelming. But the confidence isn't going to come overnight. So all you can do is do your very best. And you will be able to look back and say, I don't know why I was so scared. I don't know why I was beating myself up. Because I'm doing a good job. and I'm supposed to be here, and I have good ideas and great things to contribute. When I was having a rough time when I first began my job, I ended up finding out about this book. It's called The Empress Has No Clothes: Conquering Self-Doubt to Embrace Success. This book helped me so much. 2 other books that I read during my job search and the beginning of my career were, of course, Girl Boss. Everyone loves Girl Boss. Definitely a confidence booster. As well as Miss Jessie's Creating a Successful Business from Scratch Naturally. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to read this one. It was definitely just like a story about starting from the ground up and really working hard and having to be confident in yourself that you will succeed in the long run. My mom and I actually made a little prayer list around this time last year, and most of the things on my list were about career. And I remember I wrote something like, you know, I'm praying that I find my voice at work and that I feel confident in sharing my ideas, and that I just feel super comfortable being there. And it's so funny because we read it together a year later, which was a week or 2 ago. We read it together and my mom was like, you know, do you feel like these things have come true? And I could honestly say yes. I feel so much better, so much more confident and comfortable because I use my voice. I let time pass and I kept reminding myself, I earned that job. I earned that spot. It's mine for a reason. And it was so amazing because not even maybe 2 days after that, I ended up getting an email from one of my supervisors at work, and he sent me such a nice note. I actually will share it with you guys. Miss Delaney, I have noticed over the past few months that you've been more assertive and vocal in the office, which is great. Just wanted to pass along the observation and a word of encouragement to keep sharing your good ideas and perspective. You guys don't know how great that made me feel. Now, we won't always have moments in life where people pat us on the back and tell us we're doing good, but you know, I was so blessed and lucky to have that moment and for him to share that with me because it made me feel great, and it was reassuring that I've grown, and you know, it meant a lot. It really did mean a lot. So if you're fresh in your career or you're about to begin your career soon and you're feeling a little, you know, nervous and anxious, you know, most importantly, know that you're going to fail sometimes. Know that you won't always get it exactly right, but that is a part of the process and that is a part of the journey, and you will be so much more stronger and better at the end. I think the lack of confidence, you know, sometimes just comes from the amount of pressure that we put on ourselves to be perfect and to never mess up, when that's not really a realistic way to live. So just know that you can do it. From a once shy, scared, intimidated girl to a confident career woman. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for someone out there. Good luck with everything. You got this. Bye, guys.